But Isaiah 54, and the thing that is so interesting, normally we don't have any church before holidays because of family and family time and all of that stuff. So don't come tonight. Amen. You're off tonight. Tomorrow's Memorial Day, and you can start marinating your barbecue and all of that stuff. But Isaiah is so interesting because it speaks of something that we're working on, and I think it's essential and important. How many people here have somebody in your family who has been to prison? I heard somebody whisper, everybody. Now, raise your hands again. Comfortably, I would say 80% of us. You would say 90% of us. And as I was meditating on how many of us have people who have been incarcerated, and many of us are raising our hands because we have been incarcerated. I should have been incarcerated. As much as I went with my older brother because he was a thief. Come go with me, Noel. And I just went with him. I got caught many times in the tomato patches, eating the tomatoes and bell peppers till he gets sick right there eating it, and the person who owns it come out there and see you down there sick. My older brother had more CDs than the law allowed. Just a big old pile of CDs. The reason I look at Isaiah today is the first section of Isaiah, God gives many, many warnings. And if you study Isaiah closely, you will find that the flow or the environment or the ambiance or the atmosphere that you see in the first 39 chapters, might just to make it easy, the first 40 chapters, are completely and totally different from the feel you get in the last 26 chapters. So different is the flow until the academic theologians feel as if they call it Deutero-Isaiah. They feel like there are two different writers. I propose to you that God does not have to change the intellectual base. He does not have to find another intellectual in order to change the message. He can use the same person in a different way to express what he has on his mind. When you approach Isaiah, the thing that makes it such a difficult book to deal with is that it's actually before exile. It doesn't follow after their imprisonment. Isaiah is literally before Israel's exilic period, before they were exiled, before they went to Babylon. Now, the thing that impressed me the most in Isaiah, and just look at 54 real quick. He says, "Sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear, break forth into singing and cry aloud, thou that didst not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife, saith the Lord. Then he says, enlarge the place of thy tent, and let them stretch forth the curtains of thine habitations. Spare not, lengthen thy cords, and strengthen thy stakes. For thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left, and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles and make desolate cities to the inhabited. Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame, for thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth, and shalt not remember the reproach of thy widowhood anymore. For thy maker is thine husband, the Lord of hosts is his name, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, the God of the whole earth, shall he be called. I don't think I have any more time to go than that far. The thing that is so impressive here is that God is making promises to Israel about better things before they go to prison. And the prison sentence that they have, 70 years. They got a 70-year prison sentence. And yet somehow God is anticipatory of their release. And he's making them promises about how wonderful things are going to be when they get out. Hold on. I want you just to think for 1 minute. The way God approaches those of us who he knows are having hard times. Let me digress real quickly. Before the cock crows twice, you're going to deny me thrice. But I have prayed that your faith fail not. And after thou art converted, strengthen the brethren. We have acted like when any one of us has done wrong and have paid dues, the sentence is over, time have been paid, we still treat the individual as if they have not paid their dues. Can't get a job. Always suspicion. When God want to play a is that God speaking? The little boy was in the train. The little boy was in the train, and as he was crying and just talking loud in the train, his mama kept telling him to be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. And then some other passenger with a deep-throated voice was, he said, "Boy, you better shut up." He said, "Mommy, is that God speaking?" He is literally, and many times, what happens to us is we feel as if we encourage people. You know, it's really funny how, and I was raised in a church that was very judgmental, where we feel as if people who do wrong ought to be extinguished. And somebody get me this a mic. This one is battery or something. If that is the case, then it seems to me that none of us would be here. Give me what I need. Because God says very simply, if I were to regard iniquity, who would stand? I don't know. I'm looking at some wonderful people, some beautiful people. Yeah. Handsome people, some beautiful people, wonderful people. But I'm old enough to know that you can't judge a book by the cover. Amen. She's got the feminine pulchritude and the splendor. But pulchritude and splendor is solely cutaneous profundity. Muse on that for a minute. Many of us have been completely deceived by outward appearances. Because all of us have some devil in us. I didn't say have the devil. And consequently, because of that, God has already put in the record that I have to be there for them on the other side. The text is enormously wonderful. And that is, you have not obeyed me, you have not walked with me, and I'm going to punish you. But when the punishment is over, it's going to be over. And I'm going to send you away for 70 years. And being a just God, the punishment will fit the crime. But the punishment only fits the crime when it is over. It is over. The punishment never fits the crime if after 70 years I'm still treating you like I treated you before. Talk to me. The reason our young men and young women are continually recycled is because every time they get out, we push them back. Because we keep on stigmatizing treating them like they're second-class citizens. Close the door of opportunity. No social interaction. So the punishment goes on and on and on and on. I learned something. My older brother's gay. My older brother's gay. And he ain't ashamed to say he's gay. And he'll come by church and tell you who's gay. It's my older brother. And the psychologist said, my father couldn't handle it. My dad just couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle it. And he'd tell you, he'd say, now you know your brother, but don't tell anybody. But he'd tell everybody the same thing. So my brother ended up in Tel Aviv for 3 years, Rio de Janeiro for 3 years, Paris, France for 3 years. Now he's somewhere in Belgium. And the psychologist said, very simply, said what the family did was drive him into the arms of the people they were trying to keep him from. Because they wouldn't receive him, we wouldn't receive him. In many countries where they don't have the psychological treatments and therapists and all that stuff, when somebody is on the edge of losing their minds in many countries that don't have our wealth and seeking our money, the community embraces them. And by the embracing of the community, it restores them. Because now they don't only have to answer to a mother or a father, they got to answer to all of us who have embraced you to keep you and restore you. God is going to give them a prison sentence. And then he says, before they go into the prison, he says, sing, O barren, you who have never produced. Man, do you know this kind of stuff? I can hoop it, yeah, I can do all that, but this kind of stuff is some serious stuff. You look at yourself in the eyes of other people, and you look at yourself as the system has depicted you to be. You compare yourself with those who have risen from nothing to something. And you ask yourself, why are you always in trouble? But many times the social environment that you have been raised in have left you in trouble. I was telling them last night, I went to some dinner, and it was a wonderful dinner after all, honoring this lady, and I was telling them that oftentimes it takes a man to make a man out of a boy. And when you're in a circumstance, an environment where your son at 15, who does not know his father, he's going to stretch his mother to see what he can get away with. That does not make him unusually wicked. I don't know any boy or any girl that is not going to try to see what they can get away with. My step-grandfather was dying, and I told him all the stuff he didn't know. Thought I was the best child in the world. Left my pillow, got me 2 or 3 pillows, put them underneath the sheet, sneak out the window, come back after everybody was comatose. The environment where you're fatherless is a dangerous place because mothers smother. Fathers want you out of that house as quick as you can. How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? How old? Time to go. 2 bulls can't reign in the same pen. Have you ever heard that one? Fathers cover their daughters, particularly and especially if he left a lot of dead bodies when he was coming up. The more girls he messed up, the more intense he is about who comes near his daughter. He don't trust no man by his little girl. So the atmosphere of the house is totally different when there's no dad. Can I put it another way? While the boy is stretching his mother, the daughter's trying to compete with her. And when the mother is concerned about the child, she don't bring a lot of men in the house. I ain't trying to work here. And because daughter don't see her mama with men, she feels like her mama's too slow. She hasn't realized that her mama's protecting her from a whole lot of thoughts, dispositions she can't control. But let me tell you a little fast thing. Your mama can outdo you, honey. So because the father isn't there and the community is full of people who are in the same situation, then they gravitate towards each other, and we call it gangs. And they have a respect for each other because they end up raising each other because they're searching for a male figure. While we sit around, you see, the one reason why I spent so many times working with other people's children is because I was real selfish about it. I said, if I raise my kids right, and don't help other people to raise theirs right, who they gonna marry? Who are they gonna go in business with? Every one of us in here has the responsibility that when your neighbor drops the ball, you pick it up. And the reason we're so frustrated is because we're not getting the fulfillment of making other people's lives better. Your fulfillment will not come in how much you make your life work. It comes when you have made yours work with the intent to make somebody else's work. I have another billionaire friend. Billionaire friend. You can imagine 18 acres, green acres, $2 million an acre. House is incredible. World's leading owner of grocery stores. He said, I don't want to be sitting up on this hill and look out of my window and everybody outside there is trying to get me. And I want people to have enough so they can at least buy my groceries. One of the things I think that has happened to us is that we have come to the place where we believe anything we do is like putting a drop of water in the ocean. So when we feel helpless in being able to help others, we just go for ourselves. But how many innocent people have been caught in the crossfire of neglect? Let me put it another way. See, we have been caught in the crossfire of being selfish to the point where we only think about our own and nobody else. And the only time we get emotional about the degradation in our community is when it happens in our family. I wish I could talk to you. God says, after the crime and after the punishment, I want you to sing. You've never produced anything. You've been barren. So Lord, why am I singing when I have never produced? Because I'm going to take what you call a mistake and make it an experience. I'm not going to make you worse because of it. And I'm not going to ignore you because of it. But I'm telling you in advance that when you come out of Lodabar, it's going to be a total different situation in your life. So don't even wait till it happens. I need you to sing now. Begin to rejoice. Because it will not always be this way. Because even though I'm smacking you, I'm not smacking you to destroy you. I'm smacking you to make you better. Sing. Oh, barren. Haven't achieved anything in other people's minds, but I'm in the process of bringing you to the place where you will produce. Oh, I feel it. Haven't had any significant impact in a positive way, but I'm going to take the energies of your negativity and put them with the positive. Oh yeah, I've learned something. I've been in church. I've been in church. I've been in church all my life. I wasn't saved all my life, but I've been in church all my life, and I've worked hard all my life, but I played hard too. Yeah, I have worked hard and played hard. I'm at the age now where I got to decide one or the other. Because I can't work hard and play hard now at my age. So I decided I think I'm going to work hard. Oh, Lord have mercy. Did y'all get some water or something? I've discovered something that everybody needs to be forgiven of the past and have hope for the future. So the Lord is saying now, I want you to sing in anticipation of the best part of you being released because of the experience you have had with the worst part of it. I have done some things that I will never do again because I did them. I think you missed that. I think you missed that. I'm immunized because I had the disease, because I did some stuff I shouldn't do, and it whipped me so terribly that I would never do that again, and I don't wish it on anybody. When you move to correct some people, it ain't because you want to put them in a straitjacket. It's because you know what outcome of that kind of behavior, and you didn't get that out of the book, you got it out of your own life. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to talk to this side. Bishop Palmer told me to talk to this side. I'm going to tell you something. The wealth of information that you can share does not come out of the positive things you have done. Because the positive side of you that was not born out of the negative side of you makes you feel too significant. Tweet that. If I'm struggling with alcohol and I want to be released and I can't find the power in myself. I'm not going to talk to somebody who has never had a drink. I'm going to find somebody who has been there and done that, and I'm coming over to your house and I'm going to say, how can you help me to get off of this stuff? You see, many times people who have never been through anything just sit around judging. But somebody who's been dragged through it, gone to hell because of it, and God brought them out of hell, they got something to tell somebody. So I'm looking like I've been saved all my life, but you don't know where God has brought me from, and I ain't ashamed to say it.
Come on, Bishop.
Sing. Amen. Phil asked me once in relationship to Jesus and Adam. He said, how could Adam come in innocence and sin? And isn't he equivalent to Jesus before he sinned? Is he on the same level with Jesus? When Adam came in before he sinned, he was innocent. And Jesus comes in and he says, isn't he equivalent in his innocence to Jesus? I said, no. He saw both of them at that point. Adam had not sinned. Why wouldn't he be on the same level as Jesus? I said, there is a remarkable difference between being innocent and being whole. We got a lot of folk in here who are whole, but ain't nobody in here no use hiding it behind that makeup, hiding it behind that hairstyle and that bald head, big nose. But I might be holy, but I sure am not innocent. And it's something about holy that Satan can't get to, because he already ruined your innocence, but he can't ruin your holiness because you know the game. We have too many of the greatest voices to change our communities. We have too many of those voices set aside. Because the education for our boys in the street is not going to come from the prison system. It's going to come from a group of men and women who have been there and marching into a community and telling them, we have been there, and here is exactly what you're going to get. That's where the blessing comes from. That's why God, in Hebrews, he made it very clear that anybody who deals with his people have to come out from them, because they have to experience. See, the problem with pulpit, and the reason why I'm so crazy in many people's eyes, the tension is between maintaining an iconoclastic view and being transparent. Because most of us feel if you get an insight to the things we struggle with or the things we have done, you will lower us in your respect for us. It's a lot. I'm trying so much to give the impression that I've not done anything in life but been good, and immediately that turns somebody off. It turned me off. You walk up in there and act like you ain't done nothing. I can look at the way you dress and tell you done some stuff you trying to get away from. I was talking to a young man. And he said to me, he said, well, Brother Pastor, now, every now and then a curse word slip out of my mouth. He said, son, I want you to excuse me. Curse word. I say, let me tell you something, man. Most of the preachers I talk to are cussing every minute of the day. It don't slip out of their mouth. Just come. Now the ice is broken. You follow what I'm saying? The ice is now broken. He can be himself. We can get to the root of the problem. For me to sit there like I'm Pope Charles. What did you just say? Oh, you desecrated. Y'all have cursed in some intimate moments. I'm going to talk to some grown people one of these days. He says, sing. Because I'm going to take you out of your past and release you to your blessings. Because the negative things have stopped your blessings. But notice the wonder as I close. The wonderful thing is when everybody would have taken your stuff because of the negative flow, God saved it. So everything that you have missed because of your sentence, I have not used it or given it away. I've saved it for you. And I want to talk to somebody here who has been through some hard times, done some crazy stuff, felt the consequences of some stuff. God said to tell you, what you have missed is not gone. I've saved it so that when I release you, I kept it for you. ordered it for you. So now sing. So the person who is saying, it's too late for me now. I messed up too bad to recover. God said, not with me. And while I was saving it, I added the interest to it while you were gone. So I need you to enlarge your tent. To that person